Welcome to another edition of Smash Mouth Football. I am Colonel Angus and this is Fellatio, so stay tuned as we recap this last season and give our prediction for this week's Super Bowl. Phil, let's discuss the teams that didn't make the playoffs. We can start with Team Olsen.
Well, Colonel, Team Olsen just never was able to overcome the monkey curse of the throne game. But hey, every league needs a piñata to beat on.
That is some real good insight, Phil. It didn't help that Olsen's team also sucked gigantic donkey dick. Well, we should move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wait. I mean, Jack Bauer's boys. I was looking at his active roster and I got confused.
Yeah, the boys have had a real tough season. He fell victim to the second most well-known blunder in life. The first is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well-known is never start 3 offensive players from the same team in fantasy football.
You are so right, Phil. That was pretty fucking idiotic. His season was like watching a slow-moving train wreck. Let's move on to Killer Kyle.
Honestly, Colonel, do we really have to waste our time on this dude? How many losses does he have in the past 2 seasons? 15? 16? Hell, I don't know if a yardstick could measure how deep in crap Gil has been this year.
That is probably true, Phil. If he hadn't wasted his money on a buy-in into the league, he could have bought himself a share in the Green Bay Packers. I guess that leaves Team Tyler Manning.
There is only one thing you need to know about Tyler. He drafted Peyton Manning.
What round? The 9th? 10th?
The first.
Shut the front door. I heard the commissioner got his cock stuck in a Coke bottle once. He had to go to the hospital to have it removed. The bottle, not his cock. Drafting Peyton Manning in the first round is more fucking stupid than that. Well, that does it for the losers. Now we need to discuss the playoff teams. We can start with Team Oni.
Did you say Oni? Did he even play this year?
Yes, of course. He got trounced by Slayers the first week of the playoffs. 126-69.
Jesus fucking Christ. Really? Did he start 8 kickers? How the hell do you only score 69 points?
I can tell you, Phil. I guess he had a real bad week. Real bad. So what are your thoughts on Team Smith?
I haven't seen a collapse like that since the stock market crashed in 1933. He had some bad luck, but he choked. Even my wife has a better gag reflex than Smith, and my penis is just as small as his. Doesn't Smith fly planes? Maybe we should put a call into his employer and make sure he doesn't fly into a mountain.
Well, that is good to know, Phil. Why don't we move along to Evil Empire?
Did you hear that popping sound? I think Empire just removed Dean's cock from his ass, from that brutal trade rape. Wallace, for Lynch, unfucking believable. The dude probably would ask a burglar, who is robbing his house, to sexually satisfy his wife before leaving.
That is interesting. Maybe he should change his name to Luxembourg. His empire is about as frightening. Evil Empire indeed. What are your thoughts on Prestige Worldwide?
Well, he rocks to Barry Manilow, makes a kick-ass quiche, and he wears woman's panties every Sunday for luck. He told me it makes his tiny package feel comfortable.
Anything fantasy football related. We already know he has a rainbow-colored unicorn tendency.
I guess he was good enough to make the playoffs but not good enough to remember. Wait. He got trade raped last year. Also, he didn't draft Peyton Manning.
Really, Phil? You should have probably said something more positive about his shitty team. We are all friends here. Right? Okay, we should discuss the second round playoff losers. Let's start with Bonehawks.
Is he even alive? He was actually vocal last year. His account must have been hacked by the evil commissioner. Personally, I believe he took some hardcore yoga classes so he could suck his own penis.
I heard he got the yoga instructor's card from Dean. Well, I guess we uncovered the mystery of why Bonehawks hasn't talked to the league this year. He was obviously occupied with a dick in his mouth. Well, that leaves one more team before we discuss our Super Bowl representatives. Black Mambas. Your thoughts, Phil?
She has a vagina. And by that I mean she is a girl. It is a good thing she did not make it to the Super Bowl. Otherwise we would have to face Armageddon. Can you imagine the horror, a girl winning the league championship?
But she did have a good season overall. If only she had a penis, she might have beat Dean last week. So let's discuss what really matters, the Sacramento World Champions facing the surprising North Augusta Slayers.
Well, Colonel, let me just say that I have severe intestinal issues at the moment. And that makes me think of the Sacramento World Champions. I think Slayers takes a figurative and literal crap on his team. A diarrhea explosion on his fucking roster.
I hear he double fists his own asshole to reach lineup Nirvana. It will not help him this week against Slayers, but I believe he will still perform the routine.
Of course you are right, Colonel. I also want to discuss the wicked mojo that Slayers possesses. The last time these two faced off, the commissioner could only muster 90 fucking points. A Smash Mouth football source has told me that he will add to his lineup routine this game.
Will he be masturbating to his lineup again?
No, of course not. He only does that after victories and a Viagra pill. This time he is going to consult a Ouija board. Should I start Matt Stafford? The spirits say no.
That is good fucking stuff, Phil. I heard the last time the commissioner was this nervous he shaved all his ball hair, then sprinkled it over Prestige Worldwide's quiche and had himself a meal. So we both agree that the commissioner will lose his title and his dignity this week.
Colonel, he lost his dignity some years ago. His wife still keeps his nuts in her handbag. Absolutely fucking pathetic. Maybe he can apply for manhood status next year.